Good morning, guys. I hope everyone's doing great. I miss you all, and hopefully we'll see each other this week. So today we're going to find the side length in a right triangle when we know an angle measure, but we only know one side. So we can't do Pythagorean theorem. So we're going to use trigonometry to do that. Now remember, you still have your SOHCAHTOA to help you set your trig functions up. So that's what you're going to do first, is just like you did with angles, you're first going to decide on which trig ratio to use. Then you'll set your function up to solve for x. We're going to use the regular sine, cosine, and tangent keys in our calculator. So these keys right here, not our inverse keys. Okay. All right, so let's go through some examples together. Okay, so if you're looking at this first example here, we've got sine, cosine, or tangent that we can use. Since this is our angle, we look out at our opposite, and this is our hypotenuse. And so we're going to use sine. Okay, when you set it up, remember it's sine of the angle. So this is our initial setup right here. Okay, so sine of your angle equals opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of 48 degrees equals x over 14. Then we're solving an equation. So we're solving for x. So since x is being divided, we're going to multiply by 14. Okay, we do that to both sides. That's going to give me 14 times sine of 48. And then we're going to put that in the calculator. So 14 sine 48. And then you'll just round however it asks you to round. So this would be 10.4 for going to the nearest tenth. Okay. 10.4. All right, next one. Now, on this one, notice that on the first one, notice that x was on the top once we set it up. You're going to have to pay attention to where that x is. Okay. On this second one, okay, this is our opposite, and this is our adjacent. So this time we're using tangent. Okay, so you can see tan of 35 equals 10 over x is how we set up our equation. This time x is in the denominator, so our solving is going to look a little bit different. We're going to multiply by x first because you have to get rid of division first. So we're going to multiply by x on both sides. That's going to give me x times tan of 35 equals 10. I then have to divide, because this is multiplication right here, I have to divide by tan of 35 on both sides to get x isolated. Okay, that cancels that out right there. And so I have x equals tan of 35. And that's where I'm going to go to my calculator. I'm going to put in 10 divided by tan of 35. And then round to the nearest tenth, nearest hundredth, whatever it asks you to do. If we're rounding to the nearest tenth, then we look at the 8, and that makes that round up to 14.3. Okay, so you can see we've got 14.3 there. All right, let's look at another one. This time we've got, this is our adjacent side, and this is our hypotenuse. So if we're using adjacent and hypotenuse, that's cosine. So cosine of 21 equals x over 200. Okay, this time x is in the numerator, so we're going to multiply by 200 because we have to get rid of division. Multiply by 200 to both sides. That gives me 200 times cosine of 21. So again, I'm going to go to my calculator, and I'm going to type in 200 times cosine of 21. And if I'm rounding to the nearest tenth, that's 186.7. Okay. Last example. All right. This time, this is my angle right here. This is my adjacent. This is my hypotenuse. So I'm using cosine again. When I set it up, I have cosine of my angle, which is 73, equals my adjacent over my hypotenuse. So 41 over x. So again, this time x is in the denominator. I'm going to multiply by x first because I have to get rid of that division first. That's going to give me x times cosine of 73 equals 41. X is not isolated yet, so I have to divide by cosine of 73 on both sides to get x isolated. Okay, so x would be 41 divided by cosine of 73. So 41 divided by cosine 73 would be 140.2. Okay, so again, making sure that we're not using the inverse keys like we did with angles. We're using the regular sine, cosine, and tangent in our calculator. Pay attention to when you set it up, where does x fall? That's going to lead you through how you solve your equation. Again, reach out if you have any questions or need any help.